So, um, one of the other things that's happening that I think everyone's feeling the pinch on is finding talent and good workers and workers that have the necessary skills to do the work. How much does Sunvoy add to the burden, to the labor burden of a solar installer? How many people need to get trained on how to use it, how to install it, how to sell it? Does Sunvoy provide support? Like, what's the burden on the installer to try to pick this up?
Well, that's the great thing about it is that there's very little technical onboarding involved, and all of it is taken care of by Sunvoy, right? So there's about a single hour of technical onboarding where you have to bring in some of your IT folks to connect all of these disparate systems and bring the data into Sunvoy. Beyond that, it's 99% view only. It's running in the background, taking all of these data sources, presenting them both to the solar installer and the homeowner. But it's not like a CRM. It's not like a field service tool or a project management tool where you have to do something. There's really no work to do in Sunvoy. It's just running in the background, providing value every single day. And most of the onboarding process is just educating the staff of the solar installer on what Sunvoy is and what it does and how to present it to homeowners.
And you provide that kind of training so the owner doesn't have to do that.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so we
Great.
provide a hands-on training to the staff. We show them what it is. We provide for the salespeople how to talk about it to homeowners, for the service team, how to talk about it for legacy customers. So we provide hands-on white glove onboarding and training.
Now, you mentioned a mobile app that the homeowners would have. Is that going to say Sunvoy on the phone screen, or is that going to actually have the name of the solar installer on it?
It actually doesn't say Sunvoy other than in nearly invisible ink at the bottom. I think it says made with care by Sunvoy. It shows the brand, the colors, and the logo of the solar installer. And it's hosted on their website with a custom URL. So it literally looks like they built it. It's 100% white labeled. And I personally think that only a solar installer could come up with this, right? We really kind of built it by a solar installer for solar installers because we saw the impact on our business and the confusion that it was causing for homeowners to be sending them to all these different places, right? Like, why are you having me log into 5 different apps? What is this payment platform over here? What is this other thing I have to log in for? It's very confusing, and homeowners get frustrated by that. So once we saw the impact it was having for us, tripling our referrals, that was the light bulb moment for us of we need to white label this for solar installers worldwide, because they're really going to see a lot of value from it.
Cool. So why don't we do a demo? I would love to see the software and understand a little bit more and put some meat on this skeleton here.
So this is actually Ipsen Solar's Sunvoy, but I'm going to move around tabs here a little bit. These are our friends in West Virginia, Solar Holler. You can see it's their brand, their logo, their colors, hosted on their website with a custom URL, my.solarholler.com. Here's Solar States in Philadelphia, same thing. Their colors, their brand, their logo, app.solarstates.com. It really looks like they built it for their homeowners. But coming back to ours, this is Ipsen Solar, the company we've built for the last 7 years. This is the installer side of Sunvoy. So there's two sides, which I may have mentioned. The first side I'm going to show you is the installer side, which is bringing all the data in from the CRM and from the inverter platforms and displaying it in one place. And then I'm going to take all that data and I'm going to flip it around so you can see what it looks like from the homeowner perspective, right? So these are just analytics around who's using Sunvoy, how many tickets have been opened, what customers or admins are using it the most, and just basic analytics. I'll show you the reporting side. This is the dashboard with all the reports allowing an installer to really track their company. One of my favorite questions for solar installers, when I'm at the conferences or on a demo, I love to ask them how many systems they've installed. I can't remember a single solar installer who has ever answered this question, at least with specificity. Now you have somebody that says, around 1,000 or something like that. But no one actually knows how many systems they've installed because the data is so spread out. So now a solar installer can see how many systems they've installed and signed under contract, how many kilowatts they've installed and signed under contract, lifetime, last 12 months, and then the last month. They can see the growth of their company year over year and month over month. all of their systems health, right? What's normally operating, what's in development, what's having minor communication issues or major physical issues. They can see systems by inverter platform and by state. They can see all the environmental benefits they've generated over the lifetime of their company using the EPA's calculator. They can see how many gigawatt hours of production have been produced over the life of the company, annual, last month, and today, across all of these inverter platforms, right? Because it's aggregating all that data in one place. They can also see average and median system performance to the 100th decimal place. So this has never been possible before, to be able to see how your entire fleet is performing to the 100th decimal place across your entire installation base, across all of your inverter platforms. We can bring in the numerator of that formula, which is all the production, kilowatt hour production, and then the denominator, which is what you promised in your contracts. So we have integrations with all the proposal tools, so you can seamlessly bring in whatever you promised in your contracts on your proposal tool, and now you can show the homeowner, hey, I'm not just telling you you're going to produce 12,000 kilowatt hours in the first year. I've actually got something to back it up, right? This is how our fleet is performing right now. We have an A or an A plus in terms of what we've promised and what's actually being produced in the real world. You can see all your problematic systems having major physical issues that are underperforming, having minor communication issues. Now your fleet team has a way of seeing all that in one place. You can also see all of your tickets in one place. So these are tickets that are submitted by homeowners. The installer can now see them all in one place, collated and aggregated with priority levels and who they're assigned to and what stage they're at. That is really useful for the service team because these used to be spread out all over the place. You can also see a list and a map view of all your systems in one place. So this was not possible before Sunvoy, specifically to see across 5 or 10 different inverter platforms, every single site with a real-time status. So the reason this is powerful for a service team, just as an example, is now they can see, if we go here to a specific neighborhood in Northern Virginia, they can see all of these systems. And even if one is an Enphase system, one's a SolarEdge system, one's a Frania system or an SMA or an E-Gauge, they can see them all in one place and they can go knock out all these systems in one day, where previously this was not possible. You might have had to log into all 5 of those different inverter platforms to see the location. And some of those inverter platforms don't even have a map, right? So this is super helpful for the service team. And all of this information is available on mobile and on tablet. So now all the crew members, all the installers, all the service techs can see the name, the address, and the phone number of any customer anytime they want on mobile. So that's the service side. Obviously our salespeople get questions all the time about whether we've installed in a particular neighborhood. And now they can pull up any one of our installations and they can share exactly where that system is, which gives a lot of confidence to new homeowners who are just taking a look at solar for the first time. Now I'm just going to show you. Yeah, go ahead. It's super helpful. This was actually the hardest thing to build in Sunvoy, right? Having all your systems in one place. This is something that took us well over a year to build. It was really a big logic problem of how to bring all of this data that was spread out all over the place into a single map. So it's something that we're super proud of. And see if I can share site here. This is actually Airbay's house, my business partner. And I'll show you some more on the installer side. You can send a text message asking for a 5-star review directly from Sunvoy with a local area code from that phone number. So it's a trusted phone number that the homeowner is actually going to recognize and be responsive to. So this is a great way to ask for reviews and referrals, totally customizable. You can create an Enphase site. We have an integration with Enphase, so you don't have to go to Enphase and create a new site, re-enter the name and address and phone number. You can click a button, create a site without ever having to log into that third-party site. You can order an EagleView report, right? So you don't have to log into EagleView and re-enter the name and address and phone number and number of panels. I think you see the pattern here. There are 15 different places that we counted that our project managers have to go to re-enter the same information over and over and over. And it's so redundant and it adds so much extra time to their lives to have to do this. This saves us hundreds of hours a year by clicking a button and performing the same function that you would have had to log into a third party site to do. So that's really nice. For the service team, they can now see site level production and consumption, so they can actually track how a system is doing. That is really helpful. And this is a feature we launched recently where you can send automated every single month, on the first of the month, a report with all of the energy data summarized from the past month to the homeowner. So this previously was coming from the inverter platform, right? And there's no relationship to the brand of the solar installer. Now it's coming from the solar installer, right? With the environmental benefits, all the energy data. There's a call to action for referrals. This is in the voice and the brand of the solar installer, which is obviously going to help the sales and marketing, obviously help referrals, bringing down that cost of acquisition. So I'm going to switch over now to the homeowner side and show you what it looks like once the system is online. So we've developed the project, we've built it. Now the homeowner can see all of their energy data in one place. They can see their production, their consumption, their battery flow, all their circuit level consumption all in one place. So this might have been 5 different apps before Sunvoy, right? One place for the solar production, one place for the whole home consumption, one place for the battery flow, another app for the circuit level consumption, another app for what your EV charger is doing. That is just totally unacceptable. And it's confusing for homeowners. Now they can see all that data in one place, including all their historical energy data. They can see their system details. They can see their environmental benefits. They can see how many panels were installed and what was installed. They can share it on social media. They have a direct line to their project manager. They can see all their project documents, from contracts to change orders to spec sheets to paid in full invoice to warranty information. They can see all their referrals, right? So there's a unique landing page, which I'll show you here. This is something we actually launched just in the last couple of months, which is really amazing because it's basically like a personalized landing page for that homeowner that they can share with their social network. And it's great for picking up referrals. So I'll actually just finish this portion of Sunvoy and then I'll show you that. They can refer people directly through this form. They can leave a 5-star review and 7 sites at once, right? Which is really good for the business because now you don't have to ask the homeowner to literally write a review on 7 different sites. They can see it all in one place, and they can fill them all out at one time. So this is the landing page. I love this landing page for the homeowner because they can see all the number of reviews from all those different sites I just showed you, aggregated in one place. They can see that their neighbors are going solar, right? These are literal pins of all the solar installations in the neighborhood of this homeowner. There's a call to action for their friends and family that they send this to, who can now give us their information and see the value of solar for their home. And you can see at the bottom left here, it's kind of like a little bit of social pressure. Like, look at all the advantages, the environmental benefits that are going to this homeowner. So this is kind of a combination of a summary of the solar installation for that homeowner that they can then share with their social network to kind of, again, normalize solar for their network to provide their information and generate referrals.